Hi there, welcome to Own Colors. I'm Erica. On today's video, we're going to be doing everybody's favorite, which is the completed pages. These are all of my completed pages from January. I do have a couple of whips and a couple of cards to show as well, but not too much. So we're going to start, I'm going to start with the cards. I'm going to set this aside for a second and grab those. Okay, so first I made this one. I did all of these, well, a couple of these in a video that I put out on, it was one of my Mix It Up Monday videos. And these are all images from an Etsy shop that I can link in the description below if you're interested. They're called Petite Market, and they have some really cute digi stamps. So this is the first one that I did. I think it's turned out pretty cute. And then, so I just used alcohol markers and some distress ink in the background, and there was already a very light gray pattern printed on there, and then added some sparkles and a stamp, and that was it. Another one I did was this one. Now this one's not on a card yet, but this is the little image, and then I added the little hearts everywhere, stamped the sentiment. I'll probably make my shadows just a little bit darker underneath the bike there. But I thought that was super cute. That turned out really cute. I also did these two little elephants. I still don't know what I'm going to do with them because they're really adorable, but I don't know how to use these guys yet. These look more like they're for like baby showers or something, but I figure I could probably like do like I love you a ton or something like that as a cute little punny sentiment. And then I did this one, which is just a bunch of really cute woodland animals, and I colored them all with alcohol markers, and then added some, drew in a background and added a nice light pink in the background and stamped that up and popped it up and added some gemstones, which is really cute. And then the last one I did was this one. I did the envelope, well, just a little bit on the envelope. So I have a little bit decorated around the outside edges of the envelope and then along the back here. And then I also have this card, which I thought was super cute. I like it a lot. Again, and these are the two little digi stamps, and then I had a stamp that fit perfectly in there, and then just stamped it to match all of the coloring and stuff that I was going to do. So yeah, so those are the cards that I did. Okay, next we'll talk about my whips. I only have 2 whips that I'm really going to try to finish. I have a couple other things started that I just know that I'm not going to get back to, so we're not even gonna go to those. But so the first one I have is in Mythographic Animals. This is one that I'm actually going to try and get done for the bear video that I have coming up. So this is what I've got so far. I really like the way that it's going. And I think this is more going to be just like for a show and tell, not necessarily how I colored it, because most of this page was already done when I started this. So I'm just adding a little bit of shading and stuff to the bear right now. And then I'll do a little bit of shading on some other things, but that's about it. And I used some distress ink and a stencil in the background. Really like the way that turned out. I thought that turned out cute. So yeah, so I'm working on that one. And then if you guys saw my weekend whip, my most recent one, then you will have seen this page as well. This one is the other one that I'm working on. I do really like the way that it's going so far, so I'm excited to see how this one turns out. Really like it. I've got some black gel pen on the stars. I'm hoping you can see a little bit of that shine maybe. But yeah, I think that's going to be cute when it's done. All right, so on to the finished pages. I have quite a few this month. I was very busy at the beginning of the month and then just had a rough end, but yeah, I'm going to show you what I got done. So first, we're going to talk about my color along. So I am doing the Johanna Weekly Planner color along on Instagram and on YouTube. If you have a channel and want to participate and tag me in it, that'd be great. I know that Rachel Hendersons Coloring she's doing a tutorial video each week for that week's pages. And I've been trying to share that in my stories on Instagram. So if you're interested, make sure you keep an eye out for that. She does a wonderful job in all of her Johanna pages, so I really like them. So I started with the front cover. So this is with Pro Color. And my plan is, I think I've talked about this before, but just so you know, my plan is to do every page with a different medium until I get through all of my stuff. And then I'll, you know, just grab what I want. But so far, I think I'm into like June or July or something before I run out of things that I could think of. But yeah, so this is the first. I'm going to hold it a little closer so you can see it a little bit better. This one was done using Derwent Pro Color. I really like these pencils in this book, especially on these little teeny tiny things, because normally I would not color something that small. It would drive me crazy, but the Pro Colors kept their tip, and they were really easy. It was really easy to get in there and shade and everything. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed that. And I used orange flowers, which I don't do very often. I do like the way that that turned out. So happy with that one. Then the next one is this one. And this one was done with Derwent Light Fast. And I was really trying to go for a cool color palette. Yeah, and that was really my only, and I did find a color palette on Pinterest, and if I still have it, I will put it on screen. It might not be on my phone anymore, but yeah, I really like the way it turned out. Just used that specific color palette and tried to add in some fun. I've got some hearts and dots along the top up here, and then I've dotted around like the outside of the circle of flowers too. So yeah, I really like the way that one turned out. The next one is this one, which again, happy with this one as well. This one is done with Arteza pencils, and really love the way the Arteza pencils worked on here. I thought they did a great job. So I know that I talked about how I was going to kind of talk about each of the pencils that I'm using in here. These ones were a little harder for me to use on this paper, but I've used Light Fast in other books and I really love it. It turned out okay in the end, but it was a little bit more work for me to get that. And that might have just been my limited color palette as well, because I was really trying to limit myself, but this one was a little bit more of a struggle than this one was. This one went like I colored this in 2 seconds, it felt like. Yeah, just again, tried to stick with the cooler color palettes. So yes, there's yellow and pink and green in there, but they're all on the cooler side of the spectrum. So yeah, I really like the way that turned out. I love my little chameleons. I thought they were super cute. Okay, so next we've got this page. So this is another one where I found a color palette that I liked and just kind of went with that and really stuck to the limited color palette and just picked out like, I think five pencils and 7 pencils, and just kept with those 7 pencils and made sure I had about one of the same pencil in each row. Yeah, and just, I don't know, had fun. Added in some fun little backgrounds, like I did like a little rectangle here, like a solid rectangle, and then an open one, a circle, and then I did the background here, which I really like the way this one turned out, where I did like a little bokeh effect. I like these ones that are like magical. I think those are fun. And then another one, here's another one with like the bokeh, and then like a little swirly path that the butterfly was taking. I don't know. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. This one I did, and these I used my Polychromos pencils. I really like the way that they worked on here. I thought they worked very well, but I still have yet to find paper. I think I've only found one paper that I didn't like my polys on, and of course right now I can't remember. I need to really keep track of that in my my creative companion. Okay, and then we've got this one. This one was using my Marco Raffine pencils. It was not, I don't love the silver down here, like the metal work down here. I do like it up here. I thought I did a decent job up here, but this one is too, it's like too segmented, like perfectly segmented. Like the lines should be different. And I don't know exactly how I would do it differently, but I just know that it should be different. but it looks okay. Again, sticking with the cooler color palette, the Marker Raffine pencils make that really easy to make like a nice pastel, soft background and coloring on your items as well, because they're not as pigmented as other pencils that I have. So when I'm wanting softer looks and softer color palettes, I usually reach for those pencils. But they worked well on this paper. It was a struggle, like I said, to get the silver, like to get the really dark areas. It was kind of a struggle because, like I said, they're not very pigmented, but it worked okay. I used a chalk pastel and a stencil to do the light snowflakes in the background. I'm really liking the way that looks lately, just trying to use, when I want something that's like a pattern in the background, but I don't want it to be like in your face. The chalk pastels are really fun. Yeah, I just like the way they look. And I drew in like a little snowdrift here. I do like the background behind the flowers here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it very well, but I like the little bokeh effect that I did back there too. That was really fun. Yeah, not a bad page. And then last, right? Yeah, last is this one. Now this one, I decided that I was going to try to use my markers. So I started using, what did I use? Tombows? I think I used my Tombow markers. And I found an image on Pinterest that I wanted to try to use as inspiration. And it had like this really nice dark background, and then I think it was like a rug or oriental rug or something, and then, you know, the pattern on the top of it. But I didn't want to color this other side, so I just stopped. Like, I got this side done, I was like, I'm done. But I went through and finished the rest of the like leaves and things on that side. Added a little bit of silver in there on these big chunky pieces, and then the ladybugs there. Yeah, this one was not my favorite. These are not my favorite kind of pages to color either. These repetitive pattern things, I don't love those. But my Tombows work on here wonderfully. I love those markers. Yeah, and I will end up using those again at some point in this book, but there are those. And that is all of my pages from my Johanna planner. Okay, so next I'm going to go through some of the buddy colors I did. So this one is with the wonderful T from T's World of Adult Coloring. I believe that's your channel name. If it's not T, I apologize, but I think it is. And we did this page. This is one that has been in the making for about 2 months. We had picked this page to color, I think in November maybe. And then we were just like, I was like, how are you doing on your page? I haven't started yet. Well, neither have I, so that's okay. How about we push it back a month? And that, then again, that happened again in December. So, but we finally got it done, and I will post a picture of T's page here. Hers is gorgeous. I love her color palette. It's so pretty. And I love that we were both able to do such completely different pages, but they're still, I really like both of them, you know? All right, so on mine, I used some alcohol markers. I used, what pencils did I use on this? I used my Polychromos on this. I did use alcohol marker in the background. You can kind of see the blending here. Used some Posca, used a bit of silver glitter pen. I think it might have been my clear jelly roll. And then I had several birds. Like, I went through and typed in winter birds and tried to color some of these birds similarly to the others, but I'll hold it up so you can kind of see a couple of the birds. I really like how some of them turned out. I thought some of them were really cute. But I just wanted like a soft, either sunset or sunrise kind of background. Yeah, and I really like the way that this page turned out. So this is another one done in this book, and I am happy with that because I think I only have one other page, maybe. I think I have one. Yeah, that one. Yeah, so second one done in that book, so that's good. So there is that one. That was from Mina Winterwelt by Colorful World, and that's illustrated by Ursula Schwab. Next I did this buddy color. So this one is with Minty, and I will put her Instagram name on, or their Instagram name on screen. I also share her page as well, but we did this one, which I really like. And this is Minty's page. I really like the way hers turned out. We both kind of did a similar color hair, which I thought was pretty cool. On mine, I used alcohol markers and then Prismacolors on top, I believe. Yeah, and then some Posca to draw in outline the jellyfish, do like their cool tentacle things. I used quite a bit of alcohol marker. I'll show you the back of this one. It's pretty much everything was alcohol marker on this one. But I really like the way that this looks, and I'm happy to have another one done in here. I'm going to try to do one every month this year and finish this book. I'll be very happy if I do. But yeah, I like the way that she turned out. I thought she turned out really cute. Yeah, so that's it. That's that one. So thanks, Minty for coloring with me. Next, I did a buddy color in Spirit Animals with my beautiful friend Bee. She had reached out to me and said, why don't we color this page in Spirit Animals? I was like, yes, let's do it. So we did this penguin one, which I love. I will put Bees on screen, and she actually did the double page spread as well. So I'll post that one up there too. Really love her color palette. I think she did a great job. I love buddy coloring with her because she's just so sweet. So yeah, so on my page, I tried to keep with a very limited color palette again. I wanted to do very cool colors. I played around with some metallic watercolor in the background, and I did like lots of splatters and stuff. So there's like white and silver and blue all kind of splattered around. I did like a ice throne. Basically, that was my idea. I don't know if you'll be able to see like the texture in there. I wanted her skin and her hair to kind of all be like, look like it was made of ice as well. Added in some stickles and some silver sparkle gel pen. Let's see, what pencils did I use on here? I used my Light Fast and my Pro Color. So cool, but so there is that one. I really like the way it turned out, and I'm glad to have another one done in here. So that is from Spirit Animals. Thanks, Bee, for being my buddy again. Then I did this one. This one was a buddy color with Amanda, and we colored, not that one. We colored this cute little dragon page. I love the way that this turned out. I did, I used polychromos, some Tombow markers, my metallic Arteza watercolors in the background on that moon. Yeah, I just wanted everything to be pink. I don't know why. I think, well, I do know why actually. The Pantone color of the year is magenta this year, I guess, or something like that. But so I just decided to kind of go with that color for the main element, and then based off of that, I chose my other colors. So the only thing that's not really pink or pink toned is the little fire that's coming out of this little guy down here, and it's got some stickles on it. But this is just a sparkly, fun, shiny page, and it just makes me happy. I just think it's cute. Super cute. And then when we have this book out, I will show you the other one that I did in here this month. And I did this one, which is really, again, another one that I really like. This one I picked specifically because of the Lunar New Year. It's the year of the rabbit, and there's all these little tiny rabbits back here and fireworks, so I just thought that kind of went together. I did realize after I posted it that I didn't finish this little bit of my wave, so I'm going to keep this in here just in case I feel like going back and finishing that up. But if I hadn't pointed it out, you probably wouldn't have noticed, right? I do really like this. I use silver and gold Link Shine pens on the, or no, I used my silver and gold Sparkle Pop pens on the fireworks, and then a few elements around the page. I used Black Widows and my, did I use trying to remember if I used my Crayola. Yeah, I used my Crayola markers as a base for the majority of this, and then a little bit of Tombow, and then Black Widow pencils on top. And that really turned out just so cool. I love it a lot. So yeah, there is that one. That's what I did for Millie. And this is one of the books I want to finish. So I have 2 more pages finished off of that one, which makes me super happy. Okay, Enchanted Faces. This is part of a group of lovely ladies, and I am going to forget people, so I'm not going to list everybody here. I will try to list everybody in my description, and if they have a YouTube channel, I will link that, and if they have an Instagram account, I will link that. So, and then anybody's pages that are done, I will post on screen as I'm talking about them. So the first one we had to do, so it's basically a group of Instagrammers and YouTubers who they pick out a few pages each month, and then you can color those pages. So the first one we did was the Moon Glow, right? That's what this one is, I believe. Yeah, Moon Glow. And I did it like this. I really like the way she turned out. I'm going to go ahead and post up pictures of the other ladies' lovely pages on here too. I really like to use alcohol markers as a base and then go over top of that with my Prismacolors. I think that's what I did on all 3. And I finished all 3 of these pages rather quickly. I did use a little bit of Black Widow on some of them as well, but mostly Prismacolor. I'll kind of hold her up. I wanted her to be very pale so that she would kind of look like she's glowing in the moon. And I wanted everything to be blue. I don't know why. That's just the vibe I was going for. So there's that one. And then we did this one. Again, I will be posting the other ladies' pictures on this side of the screen. I did a limited color palette. I didn't want to go and try to do a bunch of different colors, so I just went searching through my stuff and was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and I just liked the way that this one looked. Again, base of alcohol markers. You can see that I did, especially on her hair and her skin, the flowers and her little shirt or whatever that is. We're done with pencil, but yeah, I did some Black Widow, some Prismacolor. I think I used the Black Widow mostly on the hair. I think that's where I used the Black Widows. But I really like the way that she turned out. She's got a little bit of gold in places too. Yeah, she turned out pretty. And then the last one was Cali Girl. And this is what mine looks like. I had a little bit of trouble with her skin. Thankfully it's not too noticeable, especially if I leave it like this, but when I angle it and you can like see the reflection of the wax, you can see how much I struggle with it in certain spots. I really wanted her to be tan with blonde hair, and that was really my only my only desire at the beginning of this. I struggled a lot with getting her skin to blend right, and then I don't know how many times I had to redo this nose, and finally I had to just stick with what I had, but her mouth seemed to be too narrow for it, so I extended the sides of her mouth, and I don't think it looks like crazy or scary or anything. It actually makes it look like the nose and the mouth are the right size, but you can see in some of the other ladies' pages that that's not the way it's supposed to be. So, but yeah, so there is mine, and then I went with the purple just because it goes well with yellow. So, yeah, there is that. So next month we have a couple more pages picked, and I off the top of my head do not know what they are, but I'm excited to keep coloring in this, and thank you ladies for coloring with me. Okay, so now we get to some pages that I had started. So this one, you guys might remember from December. I had started this on a weekend whip, or had page or video. I finally finished it. So we've got this one done. This is from Magical Fairies by Marjorie Sarnett. I had done a lot of the alcohol marker work, so I just really needed to come in and do some shading and things to finish this guy up. I really like the way it looks. It's very sparkly, very shiny, very vibrant, but still very wintry, I think. Pink, purple, and blue are always my favorite colors for winter. Really like the way that it looks. So excited to have this one done. Oh shoot, I forgot I gotta finish those. I'm gonna set this aside because I needed my pens that are down here, so I have to finish that up. So it's almost done. Not quite. Yeah, so there's that. I'm gonna set that aside. And then I was working on this one from Enchanted. This is my Winter Wizard, and I did finish him off. So I got one done from Enchanted. I don't love the way that I did the stuff down here, but I used my Arteza watercolor, metallic watercolors, which I hardly ever use. Yeah, I just really wanted to use them. And then I used some other handmade watercolors that I have, some stickles, a lot of gel pen, alcohol markers, Prismacolors. Just kind of had fun with this one. So yeah, it was just like whatever I wanted to do. Oh, and I used my what's that called? It's a silver pen. It's this one. It's the Deco Color Premium Silver, I guess. Yeah, so I'll use that. I think it's like an oil paint pen maybe. But that's on all of the stars and stuff down there. Yeah, really like the way that turned out. Again, super shiny. I'm hoping you guys get to see all of that sparkle and shine because it's way fun. Yeah, like the way that one turned out. So there's another one done. Then we get to, let's do these ones. So Jamie's Coloring Love is doing a year of enchanting, like, creatures and things like that. She's doing a color along, and this month's creature was dragons. So I literally went through and pulled out all of my dragons coloring books, and any books that had dragons in them. I had started this one a while ago in Night Garden, but I never went back to finish it. But then I did for this one. I didn't get to post these on Instagram, but I did. There's a little dragon. And I had based this in alcohol markers and then just kind of stopped, but then finally went back and finished it up recently, and I think it's cute. I think it's I really like the sparkling on, I'm hoping you can see the sparkling on the trees. I have stickles on all of the trees in the foreground here, and then silver all the way around the outside where like the dragon gate words or whatever, the runes or whatever that you would use to open it. Yeah, and I just didn't feel like going to the edge and finishing. I just wanted it to be focused on this part. So nothing else really has a lot of detail. Like the wall's not super shaded. I just thought it was cool. So yeah, so there is that one. That is Dragon Gate from Night Garden by R.J. Hampson. Then I did really quickly this one in 50 Marvelous Dragons by Camellia Angel Kova. I did this one. This one was based in alcohol markers. Then I did use some, I don't remember what I used on top of it. Probably Prismacolors. Yeah, Prismacolors. And then I tried to use some alcohol markers on a couple of the gemstones, and it worked out okay, but I really prefer to use my Prismacolors when coloring gems. It's just easier for me that way for some reason. But really like the way all the gemstones turned out. Added some stickles on top of them so they're all super shiny and sparkly. Added some fun little stars and dots in the background. Yeah, and just really like this dragon. I just think it's pretty. But you can see all the alcohol markers I used. And then the stickles make the page all crinkly, but that's okay. But yeah, there's my first one done in this, so I'm glad to have one done in that one. So I did get a few books marked off of my my unloved books list, so that's good. And this one is another one. So in Pop Manga Dragons, I did the page in the front here. I did this one, which I thought turned out really cute. This is just Inktense. I didn't do any other shading. I just used Inktense. Thought it turned out really cute. Didn't want to do like a big background or anything. I just thought it looked good the way that it was. And then I did start this one. I still haven't gone back to finish it, but this is one that I do want to finish at some point. I just don't know if it's going to be like next month or anything, because I have some plans for what I want to color next month. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, so there is that one in Pop Manga Dragons. Again, another one that I get to check off my list of books that I've never colored in. Okay, Botanica. I did a page in here. I did a color along for you guys in this one. This is one of my books to finish, so I was happy to get another page colored in here. And we did this one. I used only Crayola products on this page, except for the stickles and the silver Sparkle Pop pen around the edges. It's either Sparkle Pop or Link Shine. I can't remember. It was some kind of silver pen. But yeah, I used Crayola products. So I used the markers as a watercolor in the background and as a base for the deer. Then I used Crayola pencils to add the fur, to do all the shading, to color the girl up here. I did use a black glazed pen as well on the deer's eye and nose. The one weird thing that happened, which I do talk about in the color along. So I have had this page done for a really long time. And as I was coloring this, I kept seeing this weird outline of a circle. And I was like, what is going on? So I kept looking at this page. I was like, well, no, there's no circle there. Why is it there? And I realized it matched up perfectly to this. So the wax is transferred from this page to this page. So it was resisting all of the water. And you can't really see it super well, but you can see, so if I hold it closer, you can kind of see there's like an arc right through here where it's resisted the water, and then right down in here as well, which I was like, I'd never had that happen before, but it definitely does. And it's, you know, if you have a pencil or, you know, are going to use water mediums, then definitely protect the opposite page from whatever you colored. That's why everybody has those wax pieces in there. And I'm just too lazy to do it normally, but I really like the way that this looked in the end. And if I'd used pencils, it wouldn't have been as big of a deal, but because the water was resisting the wax, that was really what stopped it from looking exactly how I wanted. But I do like it. I really like the color palette. I wanted it to be soft, kind of like this side. And yeah. So this, yeah, like I said, this is a color along on the channel. And if you're interested, I will link it in the description below as well. Really like the way this turned out. So there's another one done for Botanica. Then I do have, so in here, I've got one done for my bears video, which I will show you really quickly. And then I did the other side as well while I had my supplies out. So I got these 2 pages done in, what was this one? Ticket to Dreams by Carolina Kubikowska. I really like the way the bear turned out. I think it's so cute. And if you like the way it looks too, then you can check out my video and see how I did it. I really like him. And then I had my supplies out because I used my Lyra Aquacolor pastels. And while I had those out, I just decided I would do the other side. So I went through and did this cute owl as well. Again, really like the way that turned out as well. I think this double page spread is really cute. But yeah, really, really like my bear. I thought he turned out really cute. All right, so that is that in Ticket to Dreams. So this is the first page that I did of the year. So this is from Winter Magic by Jana Prosperina. Why did I say Jana? I've never said that. And I did this page. This one was an alcohol marker base. I had fun trying to blend the markers on this paper. It did not want to work very well for me, but ended up working okay. I still have some lines through there, and I tried to blend it out with pencils a little bit, but it's good enough. I just wanted a nice light all the way to like super dark. And then I wanted her to kind of pop off the page. I really like the way that she turned out too. Again, you can see where all my alcohol markers were. I found a picture online, which I will post in the on this side of the screen here, kind of how I wanted the background and what inspired like the pink snow and everything. And then I started looking up like Winter Witch on Pinterest and found a bunch of different inspiration photos for her. And just really ended up settling on white. She was just going to be all white with a nice pretty gray cloak. And then I had like sparklies coming up the side of her cloak too. So she's got a little bit of silver on here. I've got some nice stars and the moon in the background. Really like the way this one turned out. I like it a lot. And it's Sienna Posferina, so that's always a plus. I love coloring her images. So that one's from Winter Magic. All right, almost done. We've got two more. I've got this one from Mythographic Voyage, which is another one in my 10 books to finish. Nope, yeah, not 10 books, but my books to finish eventually. And I did this one. Got to finish this one. This was one that I had started, I think, in December, and I just kept going and got it done. And I ended up hurting my hand a little bit, so that wasn't the greatest, but I had the vision with like this really dark green background and like this pretty red dress and pink flowers, but I wasn't sure how to do the clock. So I just went with all wood and then picked a few pieces to be like metal. I didn't love coloring all of these gears and stuff. That's not my favorite, but I did kind of love coloring this clock face. Like I really wanted it to look like one of those pure metal clock faces. And I think that it turned out pretty well. I like the way that that looks. Yeah, and she turned out really good, cute too, with the pop of red against the green background. It really took me a while to figure out what to do on the inside here. I did that whole inside with pencils. I think I used different Derwent pencils, so I used some Polycolor, Pro Color and Light Fast pencils on this with my alcohol markers and some Posca and some gold Link Shine pen, I think. And then I just had like a dark background and didn't really know what else to add, so I just added a few little sparkly bits, but really like the way that that one turned out. Yeah, love this book. Can't wait to color again in this book. So now I have 2 pages done in here. Love it, love it, love it. So that's from Mythographic Voyage. And then finally, I have one in Mythographic Wild Winter. This one was one that I had picked out to color for Danielle's color along. She is at Tavorna on Instagram and is ridiculously talented, and I love when she has color alongs. And this was the one that she picked out tigers this time to say goodbye to the year of the tiger. And I did this page and I was real nervous about it. I didn't know what I wanted to do. So one day I just sat down and decided I was going to do a background with my Neo colors, and I just did it. And then I looked at it and was like, I don't really like that. And then as I started looking up more things, I was like, well, okay, I'll try it. And so I did the purple in the, I added the shading to the trees, and then I was like, okay, well, what next? And then I did some of the grass, and then the next day I would do I did the tigers, and then the next day I did the crystals. So it was kind of spread out through the month. But I really like the way that it looks. I love the way my tigers turned out. I do have some metallic watercolor on my lantern and like the ring around the lantern, and then everywhere else has a little bit of everything else that's sparkly has stickles on it. So I did a color, like a multicolor crystal. So I have blue and pink and a little bit of yellow and purple in there, all kind of mixed together and smushed around, with the white. And then I did stickles on top to make it nice and sparkly. But yeah, just really, really love the way that this one turned out. So that is it for me. That's a lot of pages. Even, with having that little slump in the month as well. So yeah, I was coloring right and left at the beginning of the month. So yeah, that is it. Oh wait, no, I have one more. I'll have to find it. Hang on just a second. So I have this one from Menagerie by Fabiana Attanasio. I forgot about this one. This one was one that I did for my A's for Alligator pages, and I did this guy, which I really like the way he turned out. I did have like a inspiration image and everything, and if I still have it on my phone, again, I'll put it up on the screen so you guys can see kind of where I got my inspiration from. I basically just pulled the color straight from that. Really like the way he turned out. I added stickles to all of the lanterns, added some glaze pen to his eye and his teeth. Have a little bit of Link Shine gold on the stars and on some of the window panes. Yeah, I just really like this. A lot of alcohol markers, Then I used, I think, some Black Widow pencils for shading. Yeah, just really like the way that this turned out. So yeah, so that is it now. Like I said, lots of pages done this month. I had a lot of fun at the beginning of the month doing all those. And I'm excited for next month. So yeah, that is it for me today. Let me know what your favorite page was in the description or in the comments below. And I would love to know what you guys think. And that is it for me today. So thank you so much for being here. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.